Hey guys, and welcome back to Crouton Cracker Jacks. Today I'm going to show you how to make delicious skillet lasagna. All the deliciousness and joys of traditional lasagna, but without all the preparation and the assembling and the baking. And this is just a quick, simple, easy lasagna. Takes about 30 minutes to make, so let's get started. Now, to prepare this, I've got my skillet over medium-high heat. I'm going to add in 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and I'm going to start sauteing half of a medium yellow onion that has been chopped up. Now, the skillet that you want to use a large skillet. This is a 12-inch skillet that I'm using, and you want a deep skillet. No fry pans here. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's added to this pan, so use a pan that is plenty big enough. Now, once your onions are nice and translucent, after, again, about a minute or two, you want to go ahead and add in your meat. I'm using half a pound of ground beef as well as half a pound of mild Italian sausage. You could use ground turkey if you'd like. You could use turkey sausage. You could use ground chicken. You just want a pound of meat. I like the flavors of the Italian sausage and the ground beef. And you just want to break this up over medium-high heat and brown this well. Now, while my meat is cooking away on the stove, I'm going to go ahead and get my lasagna noodles ready. I'm using 8 oven-ready lasagna noodles. Oven-ready lasagna noodles are just a little bit thinner than traditional lasagna noodles that you need to boil ahead of time. That's why I like using these. But you just want to break them into about 6 pieces or so each. And this will just help with when you're mixing this up and stirring it around in the pan. It can get kind of complicated when you have big, long noodles in there. So I'm just going to break them up into, like I said, about 6 pieces or so. Now back to our meat mixture. You can see here there is quite a bit of grease and oil here left over. You want to get all this stuff out of your pan. You don't want that in your finished lasagna. I like to leave about a tablespoon or so left behind. It's strictly optional, but try and get most of that grease out. And once you've got that drained, go ahead and stir up your meat mixture. Get a nice even layer across the bottom of your pan. And then you want to add in your broken up lasagna noodles. The reason you want the meat on the bottom is to protect those noodles during the first part of our cooking process. You want to add in a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Be sure and get all the deliciousness out of the can. And if you have any tomato skins like this can had, go ahead and pull those out. Nobody likes those. Then you want to add in an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce as well as half a cup of water. Now, do not stir this mixture at this time. You want that meat on the bottom of your pan to protect those lasagna noodles so that way they don't get stuck to the bottom of your pan during this cooking process. You want to make sure that all your noodles are completely covered with the tomato mixture or your tomatoes. Go ahead and shake your pan back and forth, but do not stir this because those lasagna noodles will stick to the bottom of your pan and you'll have a huge mess on your hands. Now you want to bring this up to a simmer over medium-high heat. Then you want to lower the heat down to low, cover this, and let this cook for 10 minutes. Now, after your first 10 minutes are up, you can go ahead and remove the lid to your pan. Be very careful because this will splatter up everywhere, make kind of a mess. But now is the time that you want to start mixing this and start stirring this. For the spices, keeping it really simple, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm going to wait on the oregano because oregano can kind of turn a little bitter if you cook it at a really high temperature. So I'm just going to save myself here and wait till the end. You want to go ahead and stir in those seasonings, push down the noodles back into the sauce, make sure that they're all covered again so they get evenly cooked. Put the lid back on and you want to cook this for an additional 10 minutes. Now the second 10 minutes, you can pick the lid up and stir it every couple minutes, which I advise you to do just to make sure that nothing's stuck. Make sure that your lasagna noodles are separated, making sure that everything is, everything's hunky-dory underneath the lid as you're cooking this. Now, after the second 10 minutes, you can go ahead and remove the lid, turn the heat off at this time. Again, go through, make sure that none of those lasagna noodles are stuck together. This is going to be the bane of making this dish. This is the most complicated part of this entire recipe, is making sure that those noodles do not get stuck together. You will find that they want to stick together, but just keep stirring, keep working them apart, everything will be hunky-dory. And at this time, I'm going to take my dried oregano and just kind of crumble that up over the top of my lasagna. And I'm going to take about a cup or so of ricotta cheese, and I'm just going to take spoonfuls and spoon this over the top of my lasagna. I'm not going to stir this in right now. I'm just going to put it on top, kind of press that ricotta down into the lasagna so it can get nice and heated through. You'll notice I didn't add any egg or anything to this. You don't have to. That's the nice thing about skillet lasagna. And I'm just going to go ahead and cover this, and I'm going to let this rest off heat for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you can see my ricotta cheese is kind of melted a little bit, and now I'm just going to go through and gently fold the noodles over the ricotta. This is all the mixing I'm going to do with this ricotta cheese. You don't want to blend it in. You still want little pockets of cheesy deliciousness in it, just like regular lasagna would have. And finally, I'm going to take my shredded mozzarella cheese. This is 6 ounces of low moisture mozzarella cheese. I just went ahead and shredded that. You could use pre-shredded if you wanted to. Just sprinkle that evenly over the top of your lasagna. And you can leave this as it is here, put the lid on it, let the cheese melt. That's perfectly fine. I wanted it to be more authentic lasagna. So I went ahead and put my lasagna pan and all inside the oven underneath the broiler, and I let the broiler melt the cheese and get nice and golden brown. Be sure if you are going to do this that you use an oven-safe skillet. And I just put it out of the broiler for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, just enough to get it melted, that cheese melted, and browned nicely. And once it comes out of the broiler, this is what it will look like. It looks just like any other lasagna that you would make, only this is made in a skillet, less than 30 minutes, super easy. But there you go, go ahead and serve it up. Enjoy. If you like this video, be sure to give a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe for more deliciousness and to keep up to date on all my latest videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.